Yo, what is up my dudes, this is Divine Plays, and in this video I'm going to be giving some tips on how to beat Noctis. So, from the videos that I've seen personally, people mainly talked about only how to beat defensive keep out Noctis, but not too much on like aggressive Noctis. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this video. With me being a very aggressive Noctis player, I'm gonna do my best to give tips and advice on how to beat this guy, or how to beat an aggressive Noctis. Yeah, but anyways, so how do you beat Noctis? You have to have patience, and if I'm going to be completely honest, sidestepping and sidewalking is going to be one of your best friends against Noctis. Like against his key moves such as down back 1+2. Let me go ahead and just show these moves as I say it. Down back 1+2, down back 2. Oh, that's not while running 1+2. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can do this better on the left side, I promise. While running 1+2. So in the past, in Season 1 and Season 2, sidestepping this and this was extremely difficult, to the point where you were basically just forced to block. Like there was no point in even trying to sidestep it, because if you tried, you would get clipped. You would get clipped, and yeah, this one would launch you, this one would knock you down. So yeah. So basically the only way you could sidestep these moves is if you were up close to Noctis, like right here, this range. If you were like here to here, okay, maybe not, maybe just a little bit closer, maybe like here to here, there'd be no point in sidestepping in Season 1 and Season 2. But now that the tracking has been reduced in Season 3 on these two moves, they're much easier to sidestep. And to touch upon what I meant by being patient, it's actually fairly straightforward. Just don't let yourself get frustrated with the matchup and just start blindly charging in and stuff like that. As with many characters, Noctis will punish you for it, especially with him having such, I was gonna say long range, but then I pulled out the daggers. But he's got all these long range moves, so yeah, you don't want to charge in blindly. And then for example, with Noctis, me personally, I like to use a lot of parry setups. So example, if you do, or if Noctis does up forward 2 or down forward 4-2-2. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta do the setup first. Okay, so if you block this, you are forced into crouch. And if Noctis decides to go for a parry there, immediately after having up forward 2 blocked, if you go for a move, any of your while standing moves ranging from 10 to 18 frames, Noctis will parry everything. Like any punch, kick, or weapon that comes out from while standing, he will get you. So for example, while standing 1, while standing 2, while standing 3, while standing 4, and yeah. You'll also want to keep a lookout for his counter hit setups as well. An example of this would be after his down forward 1+2 on block. So yeah, as you guys saw, down forward 1+2 into up forward 1, which is an annoying high counter hit move that a lot of people run into when going against Noctis. So yeah, basically after down forward 1, Noctis can throw out up forward 1 against a hasty opponent and get a counter hit launch. So you just start mashing buttons right there. You're gonna get counter hit launched and you're gonna take a bunch of damage. So again, you really gotta be patient, keep a lookout for these setups, and wait to whiff punish him. And that's not always the case. If you can actually successfully get up to his face, start pressuring him. Just start pressuring him. If from my experience, not too many Noctis players actually have experience with his parry, or like they don't know, they're not comfortable with using his parry too much, or they either forget as well. That has happened to me sometimes where I'm just like, oh shoot, I forgot I can parry this. But I've gotten a lot better at it, remembering the parry, because I've gotten so comfortable with using it in matches. But yeah, if your opponent doesn't, or if your opposing Noctis doesn't use the parry too much, feel free to just keep doing this kind of stuff. Just keep parrying, or not just keep parrying, keep pressuring him, because without that parry, there's not a whole lot he can do. He does not have a quick universal down jab. His down jabs were replaced with slow daggers. So yeah, if Noctis doesn't use his parry, just keep pressuring him. Easy. Not a whole lot he can do. But if he does use the parry, especially like I do, just be smart about it. Be smart about your offensive pressure. So yeah, when you're trying to go in, be a little patient with him, or fighting against Noctis. But just don't wait too long or turtle too much against Noctis. Otherwise, he will walk all over you. All right, let me get to let me control Noctis for a second. So some moves I like to use as an aggressive Noctis. I like to throw out his down forward 4-2 strings. His jabs, I mean, that's kind of just universal. Everybody does it. His down forward 1, sidestep 2, and his... Oh, I can't do it from this side too. While running 1+2. Also his full crouch mix-ups. And I do like to use his throws, actually, to be completely honest. Not all players will utilize throws, but me personally, I like to use them. But alright, let me go ahead and break down some ways you could get around these moves that I have just mentioned. Okay, so down forward 2 is, or down forward 2, down forward 4-2 is a great move for Noctis. Natural combo on hit. Comes out at 14 frames, +8 on hit, and only -2 on block, and it's mid-high. So this move, the second hit is a duckable high, so keep that in mind when facing him, when facing against Noctis. The catch though is that his down forward 4-2 has two different extensions in down forward 4-2-2 and down forward 4-2-2 or 2-2-4, down forward 4-2-4. There you go. So down forward 4-2-2 is used to launch crouching players, and down forward 4-2-4 is used to punish players who like to press buttons. So if Noctis chooses to not use an extension and just decides to go for, just the down forward 4-2, you can duck under the second hit and immediately launch him. So there you go, punish. And then to beat both of the extensions, you can easily just do a while standing move after ducking the second hit. Do a while standing move, you'll float Noctis, and yeah, you'll get a combo, a small combo for it. Oh, that's not what you want to do. So for example, with characters, with your character, you're probably going to want to do a while standing 4 to float. Oh shoot, I screwed up. Hold on, let me do something better. I don't know, something like that. And then the other option, floated. I can't do it. And then you can also sidestep these moves, these extensions, but I think it's better to just duck after the second hit and interrupt, because the 4 extension is sidestep only to the right, and his 4 extension, oh, his 2 extension is sidestep only to the left. So if you commit to trying to step it, it's a 50-50 mix-up. So yeah, it's better to just duck under the second hit, or the second kick, and just float them, or just block. That's the best thing. I mean, unless you know 100% which one they're going for, but I would just stick to crouch. I would just stick to ducking under and then floating. I guess to just real quick to show you guys that you can sidestep it. Oh, that's the wrong side. There you go. See, you can sidestep left on the 2 extension, and then sidestep right on the 4 extension. If you go to the left, you'll get kicked in the face. Another catch that you'll have to look out for is his forward 4-2, which is a mid-mid natural combo that wall splats. It is, I believe it's -11. Yeah, I believe it's -11. Hold on, let me double check that, so I don't give out false information. Yeah, -11. So yeah, if you see the initial kick, that's, yep, the initial kick. So if you see the initial kick, forward 4, this is forward 4, this is down forward 4. So down forward 4-2, forward 4-2. Like, in the middle of a heated match, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Like, tell me you can see the difference in the middle of a match. I don't think so. Though, if you know forward 4-2 is coming out, on block again, or you can, like I said, you can either punish it, or you can also interrupt Noctis with jabs. Oh shoot, hold on. Or if you're playing Law, you can just go for down 2-3. Okay, so the next move is down forward 1. For down forward 1, all you need to know is that it has an extension in down forward 1 4. It's mid-high, and you can duck under the high and launch regardless if you block or get hit by the down forward 1. So for example, block. Oh, hold on. That's not even it. Okay, hold on. I'm not ready. There you go. And then if you get hit. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Next move is Sidestep 2. Sidestep 2 is a great move. It's got good range. Comes out at 18 frames, neutral on block, +5 on hit, and knocks down on counter hit. Me personally, with Noctis, after Sidestep 2 on block, I like to immediately throw out 1-2 to check if my opponent knows that Sidestep 2 is neutral or not. Because if they go for, if they're hasty and they go for a slower move than a jab, Noctis gets an easy 1-2 and +6 frames advantage. So yeah, if Noctis throws out Sidestep 2, either block or down jab. There you go, easy counter for you guys. Can he just do this? Okay, if you're playing Law, just down 2-3 him. If you want to take that risk, because if Noctis does not throw out the jabs, you get launched. Okay, so the next move is while running 1+2, and I did have to switch sides for this because, as you can see, I can do it way better on the left side. But yeah, this move is really good for Noctis when engaging because of the range of the move and because of how plus it is on block. Because on block it's actually +11. So yeah, that's a lot of frame advantage to work with. You are able to jab Noctis out of this move and float him for a combo. It is also step and walkable, so just keep an eye out for when Noctis players want to throw this move out. Alright, so as you can see, jab, jabbed, and then combo. A float mini combo. And yeah, it is, again, it is also steppable, but you do have to time it. You do have to time it, otherwise you will get clipped like I did, just like so many times just right there. So the next thing I want to talk about is, or the next set of moves, is his full crouch mix-ups, which is something I like to utilize quite a bit in my games. So from full crouch, Noctis actually has some pretty good options to mix up his opponent with, such as full crouch down for 1, full crouch down for 2, and pretty much just any of his wall standing moves. Me personally, as a Noctis player, I love using full crouch down for 2 to annoy the heck out of my opponent by poking at their feet. And then when I feel like mixing them up, I can either go for full crouch down for 1 for a chunky mid, or I could also just go for wall standing 2-2 if I'm feeling daring and get a launch. So full crouch down for 2, it's a 17 damage. It's a 17 damage. It's a 17 damage low. Comes out at 20 frames, plus 4 on hit, plus 13 on counter hit, but is punishable on block at minus 13. Oh my gosh, something just went in my eye. And then full crouch down for 1 is a 25 damage mid that comes out at 16 frames, knocks down on hits, and is safe at minus 9 with good pushback. Yeah, the pushback. And you're out of range for you get out of range for a jab to go through. So be careful, because Noctis could potentially use this for a up forward 1 counter hit setup. So yeah, be careful of that. And then again, as I said, Noctis can also go into his wall standing moves. And the wall standing moves that I mainly use, me personally, are his wall standing 1-2 and his wall standing 2-2. Wall standing 1-2 comes out at 13 frames, plus 2 on hit, and minus 13 on block, but can be delayed by a lot, making it fairly easy to counter hit confirm. So oh, there you go. Again, as you guys saw, you can delay this move quite a bit. So yeah. So to beat wall standing 1-2, just block and punish. Fairly easy. Oh, my throat. Something in my throat. And then wall standing 2-2 is the unsafe launch mix-up that comes out at 15 frames, minus 14 on block. So yeah, just punish that junk. Wall standing 4, you could use, or Noctis could use, because it's an 11 frame mid, which is just another option if you want a safer or a safe and quicker mid poke. So to get around Noctis full crouch mix-ups, I hate to say it, but it's basically the same as getting around any other character's mix-ups. You gotta analyze the player and see what moves they like throwing out and find their attack pattern. Once you figure that out, just defend accordingly and punish if you can. Because I know for me personally, I like to go to full crouch down for 2, down for 2, sometimes 3 down for 2s. And then I also like to do just the simple or the generic common mix-up, 2 low and then mid. People do have attack patterns, whether they know it or not, or whether they agree with it or not. People have their own attack pattern. You just, as the opposing player, you just gotta figure that out. It's hard, but you just gotta figure it out. So on to throws. I want to talk about his throws because Noctis actually has a couple of setups with his throws. So for example, after his 1+3 throw, Noctis gets a free mix-up. Me personally, I mix up with down 3 or down 4-3-2. Down 3 will connect if they stand guard immediately or if they try to side roll. And then down forward 4-2 is for when my opponent, or when Noct's opponents starts to immediately crouch guard. So for example, okay, so with the down 3, it turns his 1+3 throw from 35 damage to 48. If they crouch guard, I mean, I'm not gonna have this guy. I'm not gonna have Law crouch guard because I can't. It would look like that basically. It would turn a 35 damage throw into 64. And then also be aware that if you decide to just hold back after getting hit by the throw, oh, hold on. Keep in mind that you will still be in range for a Noctis down back 2. So yeah. And then after his 2+4 throw, as you will see here, Noctis creates quite a bit of space for him, between the opponent and him. So this, if the Noctis player does want to do this, he could use this throw to just continue playing defensive keep out Noctis if he really wanted to. Or if you're like me, I'm like I said, I'm a very aggressive Noctis. So after this throw, I like to immediately run in and go for a wall running 1+2. But again, as I mentioned before, it is jab. Like, you can jab him out of it, and you can also sidestep it, or sidewalk it. So another option that I actually just started recently doing is this. Just straight up running all the way. Because I know people sometimes like to sidestep after I do this throw, and they see me running to do while running 1+2. People tend to think I'm gonna do that, but then next thing they know, they get tackled. But yeah, that's fun to do. If you get tackled, you either, like, if you know the tackle is coming after the throw, just roll forward. Then Noctis doesn't have enough space to actually make the tackle connect or to come out. You can also stay on the ground, break out of the tackle, reverse the tackle, or guess his punches correctly. So breaking the tackle, or the initial tackle. That's not it. Okay, that's breaking the initial tackle, and then reversing the tackle. This one's a little bit harder for me. Okay, I say it's a little bit harder, and I get it. I get it first try. And then guessing the punches right. There you go. So, in conclusion, as I reach the end of this video, one last question you're probably asking is, how do I get close to him then? Well, you'll still need some patience, but practice dash guarding. So it's just dashing, but then immediately holding back. I actually only just learned about the concept of dash guarding fairly recently from a video Anakin made. If you're new to the idea of dash guarding, basically all it is that, again, like I said, while dashing forward, just kind of hold back every now and then, so your opponent doesn't know when you're actually wanting to engage or not. I can't really explain it like in depth too well, so I do want to encourage you guys to actually go check out Anakin's video of him explaining it. I'll put a link to that video in the description if you guys want to check that out. It will definitely help when trying to close in on Noctis. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions about beating Noctis that I didn't answer in this video, feel free to ask in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer if I can. But with all that said, I hope this video helped, and I hope you all were able to get something out of this. If you guys enjoyed it, show your support by hitting that like button, and if you enjoyed what you guys just saw or enjoy my content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And yeah, this is Devon Plays, and I'm out. Peace.